Hi everyone. So tonight's video I'm going to be making a silver wedding anniversary card. For my florals I've used vellum and I've cut out 3 stunning florals and I'm just going to leave them white. I've cut out a few sprigs of foliage in the vellum, and for those I used the Floral Finery lacy tip for this floral, and for the solid floral I used the Floral Finery Perfect Petals, and this one's got this really beautiful debossed look, but unfortunately you can't see that on the camera. It does look stunning in real life. So those are the 2 floral die sets that I use, both from Sentimentally Yours. For the sprigs, I used the sprigs from the Whimsy Foliage Floral Finery, and you've got the solid ones and then you've got the ones with the lacy detail. As you can see, I need to poke all the bits out of that one. So that was for the foliage, and again I cut that out in the vellum. I do have a tiny piece of vellum, and this piece measures 4.5 by 5 3/4. So that's just a piece of vellum. I do have a piece of mushroom coloured satin cardstock, and this measures 6 3/4 by 6 3/4 square, and it is double-sided. So my card base is going to be a 7 by 7 card, so I cut that at 14 inches across, 7 inches in depth, and I just scored that down the middle. I've got myself some really pretty silver ganza ribbon, so I'm going to be using that. My silver embossing powder, my Versamark embossing ink pad, and I do have a embossing folder that I'm going to be using, and this is the Quintessentially Quilted embossing folder. It's an 8 by 8, and that is by Sentimentally Yours. And then I will choose a sentiment towards the end to pop on the card. Now this is quite a deep embossing folder, and I want to emboss this square piece of vellum. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of copy paper. I'm going to place my vellum inside of the copy paper, and I'm just going to place this onto the embossing folder, and I'm just going to run that through my machine. Now, placing the vellum inside of the copy paper will hopefully stop the vellum from cracking. I'll just put that through. So there we go. And if we take a look at our vellum, you can now see that we've got this beautifully embossed piece of vellum with no cracking. And the benefit of using either cardstock or photocopy paper is you get a lovely sheet of embossed and depossed as well. So bonus. Taking my piece of satin cardstock, and I want this piece of vellum to sit in the center, so equal distance top and bottom, and then we've got a slightly wider distance on the sides. Now I know what I'm going to be doing to this, so I know that I can glue this down on these 2 edges. On the back side of these, I'm just going to run a line of glue, not right to the edge, just in about 1/4 inch across both sides. And I'm going to line this up where I think I want this to go, and I'm just gonna let that sit there. I'm not going to press on this too much. Vellum doesn't like being squashed. I'm going to let that sit there for a couple of seconds for that glue to grab. So the next thing I want to do is take in my card blank, and this is going to sit on my card blank with a tiny border all around the edges. But before I do that, I want to take in my organza ribbon, and I thought what I would do is I would run a piece across both sides, and not only will this add some interest and texture, it will hide the glue. So I'm just going to cut myself a piece off, a couple of pieces roughly the same length. I'm going to turn this over. I can now give that a tiny press down, and I'm going to take in some double-sided tape, just making sure we've got that the right way. To judge that with my finger, I'm just going to run a piece of double-sided tape along the top and the bottom. I'm going to turn this around the other way, and if I judge that again with my thumb, I can pop another piece just there and another piece at the bottom. Give those a little burnish down. Now if I take in my pokey tool, we need to remove, so just remove the first backing. I'm going to place my organza ribbon, making sure I've got that the right way round. There is a backhand front to it. I'm going to bring this around, making sure that this is exactly where I want this to be. I'm going to remove this piece of tape, just fold that one over. So as you can see, I've got the ribbon coming right down on the edge of the vellum. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the other side. So not only is our vellum stuck down, we now can't see any of the workings. This one I'm going to glue straight on to the base of my card. So run a nice amount of glue all over the card. And in the middle, making sure we get the same even border, top, bottom. And we're just going to allow that to fall into place. So now we can turn this over, give that a nice press on the back. Now with the florals, what I thought I would do is I would have one in the middle and one either side, like so. So if I take in my glue gel and my pokey tool, and just put a nice blob of glue gel and let that one just sit in the center. And then again, I'm going to pop this one under, and I'm just going to let that one sit roughly there. And then the last one, we're just going to pop that one slightly under and let that one sit there. So there's our florals on our card. And for our leaves, I'm going to glue these down. I'm just going to give this one a tiny bit of shape so that it stands up. I'm going to pop some glue on the back, and this one is going to go underneath the center floral, just like so. And I'm going to press that one down. And then this floral is going to go in the opposite direction. Down here. So just get that one where we want it. And give that one a nice press down. And then these two tiny ones under there like so. Give that one a press down. And then this one I thought we'd have going up. So tiny bit of glue on the back of that one. Lifting my floral. So that's how we're looking at the moment. Now for our sentiment, what I thought I would do is a tiny spare piece of vellum, and I'm going to be using the Just Saying Milestone Anniversaries, and within this set you get the on your, on our, it's your, it's our, and today, and then you get the happy anniversary, the linen, wood, copper, lace, ivory, crystal, all the anniversaries. So what I would like on this one is, or on your silver anniversary. So if I take the on your first, so I'm just gonna pop this down so that it's nice and straight. Pick that one up. I am going to ink this up in the Versamark. On your, I'm just going to quickly move that one. Take in the silver. I'm going to place that one down. Pick that one up. Do the same with the silver. So on your, hopefully that's in the right place. On your silver, and now I am going to put the embossing powder on because that will dry otherwise. Just going to give that a nice flick. Move that out of the way. I'm just going to pop this back in the jar so that it doesn't blow everywhere. And I'm going to heat set this one before I stamp the word anniversary. So on number 2, let your heat gun warm up, and then from the back, and then around to the front, and that goes really quickly. So that's on your silver, and now we just need to stamp anniversary. Anniversary, if I can find anniversary. There it is at the top. So again, lining that up on my glass mat, picking that one up, and trying to get this as straight as possible. And there we have anniversary. So again, with our embossing powder, give that a really nice tap off. Pop this straight back. Pop the lid down. So it's raining again. It hasn't stopped raining, has it? Heat my heat gun up again on number 2. Get that nice and warm. Start from the back. And then bring this around to the front. And there's our lovely sentiment. I'm just going to wipe off my stamps. For this one, I am going to cut this out freehand. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch from the end. And the same at this end. And then on your silver anniversary, and then we can pop a gem either end. And I thought that we would pop this one across the bottom, but what I want to do is have this on a raised angle. So if I take in my bone folder, I'm going to hold the end and I'm just going to give this a twist so that when stuck down, it's got a curve. Fold that one in and just give that a burnish. As I said, I only wanted it to be about 1/4 of an inch. And then if I do the same this end, just make sure it's nice and straight. Give that one a nice burnish. I now know that I can pop a tiny bit of glue on the centre of both of those. And this one is going to go underneath the ribbon, just slightly. And just get that one. So what we've got now is our silver anniversary raised on a nice curve. And then the last thing I want to do to this is add some silver gems. So if I take in the tiny 3mm gems and I pop 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pick up tool. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to move those across a tiny bit. There we go. And the same on this side. Just get them on there and then I can move them where I want them. There we go. We are going to have a tiny silver gem in the middle of our florals. So again, put your gem down. You can put these in before you put them on the card if you want to. And there's those done. And can you see where we're going with this? It's really quite a pretty silver wedding anniversary card. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 coming down on this side. Just move them about, get them where I want them to be. And the glue does dry clear, so that's absolutely fine. And then on the bottom, I thought I'd have 3 going this way. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Just turn that around and get them where I want them. So there's our really pretty silver wedding anniversary card. How beautiful is that? So it's all about the vellum on this card. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something. Don't forget, when embossing vellum, always put it in between some photo paper, and that way the vellum won't crack. So there we go. Until the next time, thank you for watching. Bye for now.